Are you retelling the same story over and over again, that it's hard to be successful doing what you're doing, that money is scarce, that you are broke, that you never have enough, that everything's so expensive, that the prices of things are going up, that all of these things are happening in the world that you can't control? Are you talking about everything that you're seeing on the news? All of these heavy things, and when you talk about them, they energetically weigh you down. There are times where I'm going through it and I'm like, F gratitude, F joy, like this sucks, right? Money is energy. And we have to protect the way that energy flows into our lives by protecting the stories that we tell ourselves, protecting the stories that we allow to come into our mind, and protecting us from the limiting beliefs of others. My name is Candice. This is the Year of the Unicorn. This is a space to talk about personal development through manifestation, mindset, intuition, all of those magical things. My very famous, very successful photography professor on career day started the day off by telling us to be successful as artists, as creatives, as photographers, we needed to marry rich. He did indeed marry rich, and that helped him, I guess, in his career. And I have no shade to anyone marrying rich, and I would have no shade to the person that I marry being rich, okay? But what this does, when you start off career day with a bunch of artists and creatives and you tell them to marry rich, you're setting the tone that we as creatives, we as whatever we are, whatever we're moving towards, dreamers, right? We can only be successful if we attach ourselves to someone else who is already successful. Or we don't have the ability to be financially successful in the career path that we're in, so we're gonna have to have this lack, poverty, struggling mindset. The second piece of it was, after graduating, to find a part-time job in a print shop, because printing your own work as a photographer is super expensive and you're not gonna be able to afford it, so work for minimum wage so that you can use somebody else's print shop. The third thing that was told to us was, maybe in 5 to 10 years we could go to grad school and then we can get a job as a teacher. It's really scarce out there. It's not easy to get a job, but you can try to go to grad school and try to get a job as a professor so that you can make your work part-time or on the side as you have a steady paycheck coming in from your school. Now, there's nothing wrong inherently with grad school. I think as a creative, grad school is a gift to yourself more than anything else. Telling a group of graduating seniors who are just going to be off in the world that, wait for 5 to 10 years to invest in yourself and then hope to get a job that allows you to make your artwork on the side is not really feeding us the story of success. Imagine if that career day started as, you guys are creators. You create something from nothing. There is nothing in the world that exists without a creative touching it, having something to do with it, taking something from the imagination and putting into the world. Imagine if we were taught that on career day. Imagine if we were taught examples of people who have gone and graduated and found a way to work for themselves and thrive, or sell their work and thrive, or align themselves with success. No, we were taught that it is very rare for an artist to be successful, and that we should expect to struggle and starve and have to claw our way through the world to do what we love as we are broke. And I didn't like the fact that I paid to go to college for that advice. So, like the rebel creative that I am, I did the opposite of what they said. The first thing that I did was I actually applied to grad school while I was in college. I would not suggest this. It was my senior year. I was doing my thesis and I was an older student and I was like, F this. I need to get the ball rolling. Grad school, is it going to get me more connections? Is it going to get me more opportunities? Let's do this now, right? So I applied to grad school and I immediately dropped out 2 weeks later. I realized that I had graduated with a piece of paper that said fine art photographer on it, and it didn't set me up for success in the way that I expected it to. And when I got to grad school, I was like, oh, I'm just doing it again, except this is much more expensive. And I didn't want to be responsible for those loans, so I dropped out the day before I would have to be responsible for the loans. And I was very down on myself. I was very hard on myself, but in hindsight, it taught me to have the courage to listen to my own intuition and do what feels right for me. The second thing I did was actually work on my money mindset, because in art school, your money mindset is not something that they work on. The mindset, like I said before, is a poverty, struggling, I'm gonna be broke forever, mindset. I read this book by Wallace Wattles called The Science of Getting Rich. Now, this book completely changed my mindset around money, because in the book, Wallace Wattles says that being wealthy is your birthright, because it is an energy, and it is an energy that allows us to be the fullest expression of ourselves. And when we are the fullest expressions of ourselves, we are sharing our gifts, our passions, our talents, our joy with the world, and that makes the world a better place. Wallace Wattles gave me permission to search for this life where I am doing what I love, being creative, and making money. After reading that book, I did the other thing. Screw working part-time minimum wage to use somebody else's print shop, and I invested in myself. I built a photography studio. I had my own printer, my own scanner, my own computer setup, everything. It was very beautiful, and it was very hard and challenging. I literally did the work with my own bare hands, and it took a lot out of me. But I realized that I didn't have to settle for using somebody else's studio. I could find a way, because I had a desire to have my own space. I could find a way to actually make that happen. You do not have to settle at all. I changed my money mindset, and prints that I was selling before for maybe $30 a print at some like art pop-up thing, I started selling for a minimum of $300, which in the art world is still like bare minimum, okay? But from 30 to 300 is a big jump, especially for my ability to receive money. And then my shoots, while I was in school, I was doing shoots for like $60 a shoot. I was giving people all the files. I switched my mindset, and I had a $900 day from one portrait shoot. So I went from $60 to $900. I didn't have to wait to go to grad school. I didn't have to marry rich. I didn't have to do any of those things. Look for someone else who had the resources. I had to have the story in my mind that it was possible for me to do the things that I wanted to do. And once I had that expectation that it was possible, I found solutions. So the stories that we tell ourselves about money, no matter what field we're in, no matter what we're trying to acquire, no matter what we're going to do, the story is the most important thing, because money is energy, and we align with that energy through the stories that we tell ourselves. And when we tell ourselves that it has to be hard, when we tell ourselves that we're going to be broke and starving and struggling, when we tell ourselves that story, that is the expectation we are going to have, and our expectations are going to be met by reality, and the universe is going to say, I got you, word. This is what you expect. This is what you're going to get. So our money blocks come from the stories that we tell ourselves. I'm going to pull some oracle cards from this deck. Money and the law of attraction. And we are going to pull cards about any money blocks that we are currently working through. What's going to help us move through those blocks. So I'm going to pull 3 cards. You can pull your own cards with me and see what's coming up for you. You can pick a pile, a card, 1, 2, or 3, or you can listen to all the cards and see what resonates for you, okay? Now, when I shuffle the cards, I'm focusing on the question that I have. I'm focusing on the energy of that question. So I'm thinking to myself, what money blocks do I have and how can I clear them? But when I'm doing it on video like this, I'm thinking, what is of the highest and greatest for all of us to hear about money blocks that are coming up for us, and how can we clear them? I'm setting the intention for that. And if you study physics, I didn't, because I failed at an effort in high school, but I know like attracts life. So life attracts life. Life does attract life, but like attracts life. So when we set an intention energetically, it pulls that card that is attached to that intention. All right. So I'm setting those intentions, and I'm letting the laws of the universe pull a card that relates to what we need to hear. All right. So if you're doing this for yourself, set the intention of what is your highest and greatest to hear around any money blocks that you have and how you can clear them, and just focus that energy on the cards. You don't have to just set the intention and trust that it's going to pop up for you, okay? Because everything is energy. You don't have to try so hard. Just relax. All right. What is the highest and greatest for those who choose group 1 to hear about money blocks and how to clear them? And I shuffle my cards and I wait for one to come out. Some people have a set amount of times where they shuffle, whatever works for you. All right, group 1. The card that you have is, I can deliberately choose to feel better now. Not only does a thought you are choosing right now attract the next thought and the next, exactly what I was talking about the story that you tell yourself, and so on, it also provides the basis of your alignment with your inner being. As you consistently and deliberately think and speak more of what you do want and less of what you do not want, you will find yourself more often in alignment with the pure, positive essence of your own source. And under those conditions, your life will be extremely pleasing to you. So this is exactly what I was talking about. When you have these specific expectations and you keep talking about it, like when we were in that career day and the professor was like, okay, this is what it's going to be like. It's going to be hard. There's going to be struggle. You're going to have to do this and do that. When you talk about those things that don't feel good, and you focus on those things that don't feel good, you inside are getting further away from the essence of who you truly are. Because when you talk about things that feel good, when you do things that feel good, you are in alignment with yourself. You are in alignment with your authentic self. So if you want to move past any money blocks that you are currently having right now, start talking about what you want. Stop speaking about the things that you don't want to experience. Start doing the things that make you more happy. Stop doing the things that make you feel icky on the inside, because you're creating more of that in your life. Our money blocks are really attached to the stories we tell ourselves, and those stories give us certain feelings, and those certain feelings are going to tell us what type of actions to take, what type of things to do, right? So if you're feeling really good, you're going to be aligned with an action or a solution or an idea that's going to make you feel really good and align you with the outcome that you want, right? So this week or moving forward, can you think about, like, how are you talking about your finances? How are you talking about your career? How are you talking about your passions? Are you talking about them in a way that gives you space to align with wealth and money and prosperity and expansion? Or are you retelling the same story over and over again, that it's hard to be successful doing what you're doing, that money is scarce, that you are broke, that you never have enough, that everything's so expensive, that the prices of things are going up, that all of these things are happening in the world that you can't control? Are you talking about everything that you're seeing on the news? All of these heavy things that when you talk about them, they energetically weigh you down. You cannot control the rest of the world, but you can control your mind, you can control the stories you tell yourself, and you can control your emotions. And once you do that, you leave space for magic to happen. You don't have to understand how it works. You don't even have to believe in it right now, but just try it. If nothing else is working and you feel blocked around your money, try at least for the next week or so to be mindful of the things that you speak and how they're making you feel, and start speaking life into your wealth, your prosperity, and your career. Okay, group one, that is your card. I can deliberately choose to feel better now. Make that promise to yourself to feel better this week by the way you speak and the stories you tell yourself. Okay? What is of the highest and greatest share about money blocks and how to clear them with those who are going to choose group 2? Okay. Rather than complaining, I will focus on the positive aspects. Okay? When you focus upon lack and an attitude of complaining, you establish a vibrational point of attraction that only gives you access to more thoughts of complaint. Like attracts like. If you keep complaining, the universe is going to give you more and more reasons to complain, okay? Your deliberate effort to tell a new story, okay, will establish a new pattern of thought, providing you with a new point of attraction from your present about your past and into your future. The simple effort of looking for positive aspects will set a new vibrational tone that will begin the immediate attraction of thoughts, people, circumstances, and things that are pleasing to you. So this is very close to group 1. This is very close to what we've been talking about in the entire video. So imagine yourself like a magnet, and the things that you complain about are the things that are going to be pulled towards you, right? Because what you focus on is what you are asking for from the universe. Have you ever just, maybe you were thinking about buying a car or something, and it was like a red BMW or something, I don't know, or I had a Corolla for like 20 years. So let's say it was a silver bullet, the Corolla, right? If you were looking at buying a car, all of a sudden you see that car everywhere, right? You notice it everywhere because you have focused your brain on that, right? When you have a complaint and when you keep talking about that complaint, you're gonna notice more reasons to complain about that thing. And I have to say, even on my career day, I left that career day complaining about how the school didn't help me, how career day sucked, how they were setting us up for failure, that they weren't giving us the support that we needed. And I was just focused on all the negative things. I wasted so much time complaining about how I didn't feel prepared or set up or supported by the program that I was in. And that gave me more reasons to complain. I remember leaving that semester just complaining about them, and noticing all the things that were wrong with that program and with my experience. Now, that program was, it was hard for me to get through, but I could have just saved myself a lot of time and effort by, instead of complaining about what they didn't do for me, just focus on what the F I wanted to do for myself, finding solutions for myself. I did that eventually, but it took me a while to get there. So if you have any money blocks right now, it might be around you just complaining a little bit too much, right? Group 1 was about like the feelings, like how are you feeling? What are you doing? What are you saying and how does it make you feel? What are you doing and how does it make you feel? Group 2, this is pointing to complaining a lot. So moving forward, can you catch yourself if you're complaining and either not say anything at all or shift your focus to something else? You don't have to shift your focus to something else and the thing that you were complaining about. Shift your focus to something else that you enjoy. If you were about to complain about your job or your money or your circumstances or any money blocks, if you're about to complain about where you are financially, instead of complaining, play your favorite song. Instead of complaining, go make some lunch. Instead of complaining, go for a walk. Watch a movie that you love. Replace complaining with things that make you feel better, that make you focus on opportunity, that make you focus on possibilities. It might be a good idea for you to listen to more motivational, inspirational speakers or affirmations. You need to reprogram your mind from being in a place of complaining, because complaining is just stagnant energy that does not help you move forward. Complaining is just you staying in the problem and not finding a solution. And you're here for wealth, you're here for expansion, you're here for prosperity. So stop complaining and look at the things that are working out for you. When you shift your mindset to the things that are working out for you, you will attract more reasons to celebrate things that are working out for you. Okay, group 2, that was your message. Rather than complaining, I will focus on positive aspects. All right, what is of the highest and greatest and greater here? For group 3, about any money blocks that they have and how to move through them. Now, if you do have your own cards, pull your own card with this. See if anything resonates from the card that you pull. See if it confirms anything that I see in these cards or anything that I'm talking about, or see that if it brings up something new for you. It's important, in this world of intuition and spirituality and personal development, we have all these great resources and we learn from each other and it's super powerful, but it's also important for you to develop the ability to be your own source of, your own guru, right? Be your own confirmation. Do not give that power to anyone else. Don't give it to me. Don't give it to anyone else. You have this inner knowing in you that you were built with. You have this GPS system in you that's called your intuition that tells you what's right and what's wrong for you. Don't take anyone else's word for it. Be open to advice, be open to suggestions, be open to new perspectives and things that you haven't thought about, right? Don't be closed off to other people, but also rely on your own inner knowing and trust yourself before anyone else, because you know what's right for you, okay? So what is of the highest and greatest share with group 3? About any money blocks that they have or we have and how to clear them. These are not the easiest cards for me to shuffle. They stick together, but all right. Welcome to Planet Earth, group 3. You are here to seek joy. This is your card. Welcome to Planet Earth. You are here to seek joy, okay? So I'm gonna read the back of the card. If we were talking to you on your first day here, we would say, welcome to Planet Earth. There is nothing that you cannot be, do, or have. And your work here, your lifetime career, is to seek joy. As you think thoughts that feel good to you, you will be in harmony with who you really are. And in doing so, you will utilize your profound freedom. Seek joy first, and all the growth that you could ever imagine will come joyously and abundantly to you. Oh, that is beautiful, group 3. Seek joy. And I really like on the image how it's like a bird that is like flying to freedom, right? Oh no, actually it's a dove. Okay, it's a dove flying from freedom in peace, right? So with this card, it's talking about seeking joy. So a lot of the times when we think about money, when we're blocked around money, we're thinking about, oh my God, how can I make more money? Oh my God, what can I do? Oh my God, I have to do this. Oh my God. Like we have these stories, these narratives of what we have to do, and we have this energy around we have to figure out what to do. When I was graduating that college program, the BFA program, I had this energy of like, oh my God, I have to do something to make money. And when I opened my portrait studio, it did make me money after opening it, but it did not bring me joy. So it was not sustainable for me. And I did close the business relatively soon. Even with that like $900 check in my hand, I did close the business soon. I remember breaking down, crying in my car because it didn't bring me joy. I opened the business under this pressure of I have to do these shoots in order to make money, and I wasn't focusing on what do I want to do next, what is going to bring me joy. And when you focus on what's going to bring you joy, your joy is going to attract you to the things that are naturally going to make you happy. And you can attach your joy to your career, you can attach your joy to money, you can attach your joy to anything you want to attach it to. But once you align with that high vibrational energy, that high frequency, or if that's not your thing, once you align with just feeling good, just feeling good, when you align with that and when you do more what fills you with that emotion, you're gonna create a life that brings you joy. Like if you wake up in the morning and you do something that brings you joy, and you do these little moments, these little joy moments, and they add up to days of joy and weeks of joy and months of joy and years of joy, you create a life of joy. And that joy is going to connect you with wealth and prosperity and money, because that is a strong foundation for creating a life that makes you happy. And what else makes you happy? Having money to do more things that make you happy, having more money to express who you really are, having more money to appreciate the things in your life. If you are struggling, if you are blocked around money, if you are focusing on I'm feeling stuck and stagnant and broke, it is really, really easy to not appreciate what's happening around you, to not appreciate the things that you have, to not appreciate the people, places, and things that you already have, because you're worried, you're stressed, you're in survival mode, and you don't have time or mental capacity to enjoy the things that you have. Your brain has a signal that you are not safe, and when you are in that space of not feeling safe, you do not have time to smell the roses. Unless you shift that narrative, you focus more on joy, and trust that focusing on joy will give you more things to be joyful about, will help you to focus, to see the things that are already bringing you joy, and bring more of that into your life. Okay, group 3. So to move through your money blocks, try focusing more on the things that bring you joy. And I know that could be really annoying to hear if you're really going through it, because there are times where I'm going through it and I'm like, F gratitude, F joy, like this sucks, right? But it's not about going from 0 to 100. It's about what little thing can I do just to move forward with joy. Maybe I'm pissed today. Maybe today is difficult. Maybe I don't see joy in my day, but I really, really like a good matcha latte. Maybe instead of just dwelling in the misery, I could go get myself a matcha latte and that makes me happy. Or say, I really, really like a good Disney movie. It brings me joy. So I'm having a sucky day, I'm pissed, and maybe I just put on a Disney movie, and maybe I'm not completely feeling better during the movie, but there is a point in the movie where the genie turns into a bee in Aladdin and he threatens to sting Jasmine, and it makes me laugh. So that was a point higher than I was before, and I'll take that over anything, because shifting your energy aligns you with the things that you really want. Right? So group 3, how can you align with more joy, and see how that helps you in moving past any money blocks. Okay, so this was fun. I really enjoy talking about, you know, my own experiences and then pulling the cards with you guys, because I feel like we learn from each other when we share our own stories. So I don't know if you have any stories you want to share in the comments, or anything that resonated with you from the cards, share it in the comments. My name is Candice. This is the Year of the Unicorn. This is a space to talk about personal development through manifestation, mindset, intuition, all of those magical things, because I really, really, truly believe that something that I'm supposed to focus on in my life is not settling, and something that I'm supposed to talk to other people about is not settling, because I came from a really dark place in my life where I was settling in every single area of my life. And it made me feel really, really low. And I worked on myself and my mindset, and I realized that that does not have to be my reality, and I could be free from that. And it's completely changed my life and put me on a new trajectory. So I just want to talk about that a lot and geek out on it. So thanks for being here. If any of this resonated with you, if you liked this video, like, comment, subscribe, and I hope to see you next time. Smooches, wishing you all the magic.